It's really important that patient communities raise the flag on where there's unmet needs. Um, Unless you are managing day to day care for any particular health condition, it won't necessarily dawn on a medical device developer that that may be a new market, a new opportunity, a new development space for them to explore. So I do think it's important that organizations like NORD and other organizations bring a voice to that, and particularly where there's a shared challenge, where the condition isn't necessarily the one driver, but it's a shared challenge amongst conditions, where people can say, there may be a room for me to do some development work here. So I encourage you to do that because it may not be on people's radar unless you raise it as something to be on their radar.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. The developers in the medical device space are just very smart scientists who, when they see a challenge or see a problem, they're hungry to find a solution. And I think this also goes to Rich's point before of just getting that continuous feedback from patients and caregivers about how do we, ease the burden? How do we, provide continued support in a way that allows folks to have, manageable lives. And so I couldn't agree more. It also strikes me that, this is one of those areas where I'm hopeful that, and this is maybe my pie in the sky, future vision of society, kind of, looking forward that's, at the top of the list for folks, because I know that's just from a mental burden, an emotional burden, as somebody has somebody in my family with a rare disease, it can be a lot. So I agree.
Just add that for anybody who's a caregiver in the room, I know who you are and I know what you go through. Um, Technology is not going to always answer those really hands-on, the needs to replace the caregivers in the room. But we can use it to supplement other things to be able to take over more complex things, to be able to free you up to do the things that are the hands-on, that are the meaningful things. So we have to be able to, we don't know what those things are. Everybody in Washington, D.C., they call it a beltway for a reason, because there's this thing called 495 that comes around this place, and everybody that's inside that beltway, they need to be informed by you. So please help to continue to tell them those stories, the story that you just told, those difficulties that you go through. They can't drive innovation forward without your story.